आदाब दोस्तों, मैं सुहेल फारूक और आप मुझे YouTube पे देख रहे हैं। वीडियो शुरू करने से पहले घंटी का बटन दबा के मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिएगा ताकि आपको आने वाली तमाम वीडियोस के बारे में बर वक्त इत्तला मिल सके। टॉपिक हमारा वही है, बेसिक इन प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर, और हम मार्केटिंग मिक्स के लास्ट सेक्शन को करने की कोशिश करेंगे। आज हमने प्राइस, प्लेस और प्रोडक्ट, इन तीन चीज़ों को जो है वो कवर कर लिया और उनके ऊपर डिफरेंट क्वेश्चंस किए ताकि हम जब मार्केटिंग मिक्स बना रहे होते हैं तो हमारे पास एक आइडियल किस्म की, एक कैंडिड फीडबैक आ सके और एक ऐसा डेटा और एक ऐसा पैकेज हमारे पास आ जाए जिसकी बेसिस के ऊपर के हम इफेक्टिव मार्केटिंग मिक्स जो है वो बना सके। आज जो हम लास्ट सेक्शन है मार्केटिंग मिक्स का, जिसको हम प्रमोशन कहते हैं, उसको जल्दी से कवर करने की कोशिश करेंगे और देखेंगे कि इस सेक्शन में हमें कौन से ऐसे क्वेश्चंस करने हैं ताकि हम जो है फाइनली अपना जो मार्केटिंग मिक्स है उसको इफेक्टिवली प्रिपेयर कर सकें और फिर उसके बाद उसको मार्केटिंग प्लान में डाल सकें। तो हम इसको स्टार्ट करते हैं। और इस दफ़ा भी मैंने सवाल जो है वो सारे के सारे वर्कशीट में डाल दिए ताकि लिखते हुए जो है वो टाइम हमारा जो है वो ज़ाया ना हो। तो इसको देख लेते हैं ख़वातीन और हज़रात। प्रमोशन के अंदर जो सवालात हमें करने हैं ताकि हम एक इफेक्टिव मार्केटिंग मिक्स बना सकें। So where and when can you get across your marketing messages to your target market? This is the first question that you have to ask. This is the first question that you have to ask. Where and when can you get across your marketing messages to your target market? So where is the place, which we already have discussed, and when is the timing? So timing for launching a product or timing to promote a product is very important. And we are going to discuss it in the later stages, how timing affects the launch of a product or a service. So you have to determine this, the place, and of course the timing. Will you reach your audience by advertising in the press or on TV or radio or billboards? Okay, for this part, we don't do it in pharmaceutical marketing, but people who are engaged in nutrition and IMF infant milk formulas, they use those billboards, they go on TV, and sometimes they go on press too by creating some kind of press interactions. By using direct marketing mail shots, that's what sometimes we do in the pharmaceutical sales. Through personal rationing, of course, we do that on the internet, or the way we do it in pharma market is one-to-one promotion. It's like you go there to the doctor's chamber or to your customer's chamber and you throw a pitch. You pitch your detailing story to the customer and you try to do the benefit selling. So you have to find a way of internet. You have to find a way, if you can use your personal relationing, how you're going to do it. You have to determine it before that. It depends on the type of the product. Say if you are in nutrition, as I said earlier, you can use TV, you can use radio, you can use billboards, mail shots, personal relationing, internet, and of course, one-to-one. But if you are in a very specific kind of market, your services or your products, even in pharmaceutical, is very typical. Say, for example, antidepressants. Then perhaps you still can have a campaign on radio and TV, but may not be on billboards. Mail shots still work here, personal relationing still works here, internet still works here. Why? Because then you can do some kind of teaching and promotions. Here, one-to-one promotion still stands number one in pharmaceutical marketing. Humulin, for example, or you are dealing with diabetes products or or instruments related to diabetic checkup. Again, you can use any kind of media to promote your items, but still your customer is waiting for you for one-to-one promotion. So when is the best time to promote? This is another question which is very important. When is the best time to promote? So when is the best time to promote? So you know when is the best time to promote, because if there is a seasonality in the market, say if you are in the market of anti-allergics, you know that onset of spring is the best time to increase your targets, to improve your marketing activities, put more stress in the market, come up with a campaign before the onset of the spring, hay fever, all those kind of times when allergy is at its peak. Same is for other anti-inflammatory inhalers and all that. You know that those are seasonal items. Sometimes when you are in the market of antibiotics, which are used to treat diarrhea, not diarrhea, gastroenteritis, and waterborne diseases, you know when they start. So you start promoting them. Typhoid has its own season. Malaria has its own season. So you know if there is a seasonality involved in it. So you intensify your promotional activity or you reduce your promotional activity depending upon the type of the product and type of the season. So if season matches with the item or with the brand or with the product, you intensify your marketing activity, you pour more resource in it, and you go hard to your customer to get maximum out of it, because that's the time when you have more number of patients. Are there any wider environmental issues that suggest or dictate the timing of your market launch or the timing of subsequent promotion? As we have already discussed it, so you know that how this thing is going to affect you. Environmental issues, they are mostly the environmental issues are like, we call them external uncontrollables in terms of marketing, and external uncontrollables are usually, we can't control them, but then you have to anticipate and you know how it works. Like in Pakistan, we know when malaria hits, when dengue hits, we know when typhoid hits. So we have the environmental issues in Pakistan. Say drought areas, we have an environmental issue in the drought areas. There's no rain, there's no water. So we understand how to anticipate and how to move around our campaign and tailor make our campaign to make sure that we get maximum out of that promotional activity. How do competitors do the promotion? This is, again, very important, how our competitors are doing the promotion. Now, if you are working against a competitor who is the market leader and is selling his brand in billions, and you are just about to launch the same salt, or maybe you are just about to launch something which is which you are going to operate in the same market, but you are a relatively smaller company, and even if you are not a smaller company, the targets are small. So if your targets are small, that means your resources are also small. Like you have fewer men with you, you have not as much money as your competitor, and of course the other resources, which are the promo activities, you don't have that much to spend on it. So when you are comparing yourself with your competitor and you want to see how they are promoting, then you can actually design your promotional activities plan just in order to make sure that you compete them in a very decent way. Or sometimes the companies are like this, that they hit hard. They hit hard, and what they do is like they spend 50% of their annual budget during the first 3 months to make sure that they hit hard their competitor, and they come up with the same kind of activities with slight variation to make sure that they can gain more market. So you need to read your competitor well and your competitor's promotional activities, including the resources that they have, the kind of budgets that they have, and kind of sales that they have. And then you can design your own activities. So reading your competitor, again, is very important when you are designing a promotional activity. And how is that activity or promotion influence your choice of promotional activity? I have already explained it to you. Like if they have more men, how are you going to deal with it? If they have more money, how you are going to deal with it? If they have more samples, more gifts, more conferences. They are sponsoring the doctors. They have the educational activities. They have continuous medical education programs. How are you going to deal with it? So it all depends on the vision of the product manager, how he is developing his product and how he thinks that this year or during this quarter, how he is going to place his item or his product against his competitors. And what is his vision, where he sees his item in the next 5 years, or he wants to go head on with your competitor. Usually with a bigger competitor, going muzzle to muzzle with a bigger competitor is not a very wise decision. But again, depending upon your resources, your men, your money, your resources, and all that kind of stuff that you could spend, it depends. It depends how you're going to deal with your competitors' promotional activities and how you're going to combat it. So these are the questions. These are the questions which we have to ask when we are finalizing the promotion part of the marketing mix. So, and then you are in a position to effectively make your marketing mix. So far we have covered all four parts of the marketing mix. We have done the product. We have asked the questions to make sure that we don't miss anything in the product section. We know what questions we need to ask in the place segment, and then the price segment, and now the promotion segment. Now we are there after asking all these questions to make sure that what kind of promotional mix, or what kind of marketing mix we want to have. So we'll proceed further with the next topic, basics in product management, in our next video. Enough for today. Thank you very much.